Children, we are studying with very important topic today, that is how transport of various substances take place in our body, and this circulation is carried out through blood vessels and heart. As you all know that blood vessels are of three types: arteries that carries oxygenated blood. We will study this part in detail afterwards. Arteries carries oxygenated blood. Veins, they carry deoxygenated blood. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to all parts of the body, whereas veins carry deoxygenated blood from various body parts to the heart. And capillaries are the very narrow blood vessels that join arteries with veins. Then comes our heart. Heart is made up of cardiac muscles. It is a muscular organ. Let us first see the functions of the blood. Our blood consists of plasma. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. It is the liquid part of the blood, and plasma transport food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. In our body, it serves the function of transportation of food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste such as urea in the dissolved form. Then comes the blood cells. Blood cells are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells carries the pigment. They have the pigment hemoglobin. They contains the red color pigment known as hemoglobin, which is a carrier of oxygen and carbon dioxide. White blood cells are the defense forces of our body. They are considered as the soldiers of our body. They build our immunity. They fight against the disease carrying microorganism, disease causing germs. Whereas platelets help in coagulation of blood. They prevent excess loss of blood. Is it clear? Now, this blood has to reach each and every cell of our body. And children, for reaching to every cell of the body, it needs blood vessels. There must be some pipe, some tube-like structure, and how there must be some pump, must be some pressure. That pressure only send the blood along with various substances to each and every cell of the body. And the pumping organ of our body, this pump, the pumping organ of our body is the heart. Let us see the heart first, children. Heart, as you all know, it is made up of cardiac muscles. Human heart has four chambers: 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see the four chambers here. The upper two chambers are known as atria. What they are known as atria. And the lower two chambers are known as ventricles. The lower two chambers, they are known as ventricles. This is the left atria, left ventricle, right atria, and the right ventricle. Our heart is four chambered heart. So it has four chambers. It is very size of the human heart is very small. It is just as the size of the fist. Now let us see how does the circulation of blood takes place in the heart. Children, now see it very carefully. oxygenated blood remain in the left side, whereas deoxygenated blood flows in the right side. And these two sides are separated by a muscular wall known as septum. First of all, oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood from the lungs enters the left atria through pulmonary vein. This is pulmonary. Children, this is the only vein in our body that transport oxygenated blood. Always remember. So once again I am repeating, oxygenated blood from the lungs enters the first chamber, that is left atria. When the left atria receives the blood, it gets relaxed. Blood flows into it. After that, this atria contracts and blood flow from left atria to the left ventricle. Left atria when contracts, left ventricle relaxes and blood from left atria reaches to the left ventricle through the valve in between, and this valve is known as bicuspid valve. This valve is known as bicuspid valve. From the left ventricle, the blood, see here, from the left ventricle, the blood goes to the aorta, and from aorta it goes to various parts of body. Is it clear? Once again I am repeating. Oxygenated blood from the lungs comes to the pulmonary vein. It enters the left atria. From left atria, it enters left ventricle. From left ventricle, it goes to aorta, and from aorta to various parts of the body. Children, the body parts, when they receive oxygenated blood, they do the respiration, and now deoxygenated blood from the various parts of the body enters the right side of the heart through the vena cava. This vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood to the right atria. From the right atria, whenever any chamber receives the blood, it gets relaxed, and whenever the blood flows out of them, they get contract. From the right atria, the blood comes to the right ventricle. This is deoxygenated blood. Which type of blood this is? This is deoxygenated blood. And from right ventricle, this blood goes to the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is the only artery that carries deoxygenated blood. This artery carries deoxygenated blood. Always remember. And from pulmonary artery, this blood goes to the lungs for reoxygenation. Let us look at the flow chart of this. Once again, oxygen-rich blood comes to the pulmonary vein. From here, the blood goes to the left atria. From left atria to left ventricle. Left ventricle gives the blood to the aorta. then to the body parts. From body parts, the deoxygenated blood comes to the vena cava. From vena cava, RA is right atria. From right atria to right ventricle. From right atria to right ventricle. Then to pulmonary artery and then lungs. Pulmonary artery and then this is the flow of blood in our heart. I'll make you more clear once again. Oxygen rich blood from lungs enter the left atrium. Left atrium relaxes. When left atrium contracts, the blood goes to left ventricle. When left ventricle contracts, blood goes to the body through which aorta. Aorta is the largest artery. From the body, the deoxygenated bloods come to the right atrium through vena cava. Right atrium, when they get contract, blood goes to the right ventricle. From right ventricle, the blood goes to lungs for reoxygenation through pulmonary artery. I hope, children, the flow of blood in our heart must be clear to you. Now come to the another part, that is the left side and right side of our heart is separated by a wall known as septum, and this separation is very useful because oxygenated blood will not mix with the deoxygenated blood. And why this separation of the right side and left side is useful? To keep oxygenated and deoxygenated blood separate, and this help in release of more energy. Children, you all must be knowing that birds and mammals, they have a four-chambered heart. And why do they have this separation and four-chambered heart? Because their needs, they have high energy needs. Why do they have high energy needs? Because they are warm-blooded. What are warm-blooded? Whose body temperature remain constant throughout the year. To keep their temperature constant, they need more energy. And this energy, more energy, they can only get if their oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is separated. Okay? Amphibians and reptiles, they have three-chambered heart. In their body, they can tolerate some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood because their body temperature changes with their surrounding. They are cold-blooded organisms. Fish, their heart has two chambers. Their blood is pumped to the gills first, and blood gets oxygenated at gills, and then it passes to the rest of the body. One more important question that often come in your exams is double circulation. What is double circulation? As you have seen that in the human heart, blood passes twice in one cardiac cycle. Twice means how come? First, from lungs, oxygenated blood enters the heart. You remember? This is the first. And another time from various body parts, deoxygenated blood again enters the heart. This from right side and here left side. So blood flows twice in one cardiac cycle, and this is known as double circulation. I hope, children, this much part is clear to you. In the next topic, we will study about the blood vessels.